Welcome to Men's Anonymous, the podcast where men can be vulnerable and open without fear of judgment. Your host, Daniel Weinberg, leads authentic and unfiltered discussions that explore the challenges and triumphs of modern manhood. Join us as we break down barriers, challenge stereotypes, and redefine masculinity. Men's Anonymous, a safe space for men to lower their shields and share their inner world without judgment.
G'day, I'm Daniel Weinberg, the host of Men's Anonymous, a new podcast that focuses on all things men, authentic and unfiltered. Here I am at the age of 50, contemplating a life colored by victories, blunders, and a kind of wisdom you can't find in any self-help book. Life to me feels like a jackpot, not the kind you see on the slot machines, but the richness that comes from embracing the messiness of living. As you can most probably hear, I'm an Aussie. I grew up in Australia, spending the first 40 years of my life there. Then I left to see what more the world has to offer and haven't looked back since. I've been married twice, divorced twice, and a proud father of 5 incredible kids. And believe me, that's just the tip of the iceberg. My life is like a puzzle I never thought would be this complicated. Yet, at my core, I cling to the core belief of love, though I've learned it comes in more shapes and sizes than I ever imagined. As I sit here today, I have an immense amount of gratitude. I'm surrounded by love. I have an incredible, loving partner, 5 beautiful kids who I'm super connected to, and parents who have been more than loving and supportive to me through the roller coaster of my life. I've never been more connected with myself, which took me a long time to get to. But most of all, I'm at peace. The chatter in my head is mostly silent, which for me is the ultimate goal. And last but not least, I found my tribe, surrounded by incredible men who love me for who I am and support me at all times. So, why am I here? Frankly, being a bloke in today's world is a wild ride with very little guidance. We're all making the same mistakes, regardless of age and experience. So why am I doing this podcast? To try and recreate the tribe we once had. Back when we lived in packs, the elders shared wisdoms. And as boys turned into men, we had rituals, rites of passage that marked our growth. Fast forward today, and that's all gone missing. The ancient wisdom has faded, drowned in the cacophony of contemporary life. So don't get me wrong. I'm not claiming to be the guru of all things manly. Actually, far from that. I'm just a guy who's been through the ringer, a seasoned traveler, bearing the scars of battles fought and lessons learned. This is a humble attempt to reignite the embers of tribal connectivity, to restore the brotherhood that once thrived in the sharing of stories, wisdom, and collective growth. A few years back, my life imploded. I call it the trifecta. So all at the same time, I had 3 of the following things happen to me. My primary relationship blew up in spectacular form. I had major issues in a few of my serious businesses that I'm involved in, all happening at the same time, where I had a breach of trust from senior partners or colleagues of mine in each of those businesses. And consequently, I mentally broke down, literally had a breakdown. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't sleep. I think I had a period of about 6 months where I literally didn't sleep. I was extremely tense. I lost a lot of weight. I was very anxious. And really, I went through a period where I thought I'd lost me. And I thought, when is Daniel going to come back? I just desperately wanted the old me back. And it took me a long time to break that pattern. But the way I started breaking that whole time in my life to create the beginning of the reset was I started opening up to people one by one slowly. And you know what I found? When I peeled back the layers, it gave other guys permission to do the same. There's a brotherhood waiting to happen if we just crack ourselves open a bit. I discovered an alchemy, opening the door for authentic communication, a shared vulnerability that became the bridge between men. Historically, prior to this trifecta event in my life, I didn't really express emotion to other men. I didn't really make myself vulnerable to them. I think in general, for men, it's a sign of weakness. That's how men generally feel. The reality is with most men, their ego is their weakness, which is wrapped around them like layers of an onion. And the mission here is to help peel back the layers by giving them a safe place to do so. So what did I do? I was always seen, I think, amongst my friends as the one who's got it together, the successful one. And really, I didn't have it together at all. In fact, quite the opposite. Like everything had gone wrong in my life. The first conversations I had with one of my friends, who I'll refer to as Deep Steve, I opened up to him and told him about my struggles. And he opened up with me, and he suggested for me to read a book by Michael Singer called The Untethered Soul. I think I read this book, 25 to 30 times, literally on repeat over that 6-month period. But what he gave me was a gift. And the gift of him holding space for me allowed me to, or gave me the permission to make myself vulnerable with other men. Now, when you do that, it doesn't necessarily mean the other man will respond in the same way, but it's almost like a fishing expedition. If you open up a little bit and show a little bit of your, personal, emotional, or vulnerable side, by the response of the other man will tell you whether they will make themselves vulnerable, to you. And what I found in the process, as I opened up to other men and they in turn opened up to me, what ended up happening was I ended up forming much deeper connections and bonds with these men. And today I'm surrounded by a pretty significant group of men all over the world who, and you know who you are, who were there for me in my worst time and continue to be there for me and I for them. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to encourage those that are listening to try out this path and make yourselves a little bit vulnerable to those men you feel close and connected with around you. And really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to inspire the listener to go out there and reform your own tribe, because it's time for men to share wisdom. So what do I want to get out of this? The podcast is really an invitation. It's a call to action, a call to every man to connect with a tapestry of stories around him. Within these narratives lie the keys to rebuilding the male tribe, urging a profound consideration of community, the pursuit of the enlightened masculine, the evolution into a Renaissance man, the courage to challenge paradigms, and the embrace of the ever-evolving journeyman. The podcast itself should be a backstage pass to the chaos, the heartbreaks, the victories, and the wild adventures that make up the mosaic of being a man. The show's purpose is to create a safe space for men to open up on an array of topics, all things men. I talk to different men about men's mental health. What's it like being the father of a neurodiverse child and how that impacts our lives, our relationships? What's it like being the son of a parent who has committed suicide, who has tried to commit suicide? Open relationships, and men who lead men's groups and the impact that's had on the forming of men communities. My hope is that it inspires you to recreate your own tribe, opening these forgotten channels between men once again, so the wisdom can once again flow and the brotherhood formed. So, what am I really looking for? I'm looking for to inspire you to form deeper connections with your male tribe and becoming a better man, coming more truly into your masculine, not the way it's perceived or projected by society today, but what it means to really come into your true masculine. I'll leave you with a couple thoughts, maybe some questions that I want you to think about what it means to be a man. So I finish off each of my interviews with these 5 questions, and I'd like to leave those questions for you so you can go away and think about it. Number 1, who would you like to say sorry to, given the chance? Number 2, what are you proud of being or doing in your life? 3, when did you receive kindness whilst needing it most and expecting it least? And 4, what did your mother or father teach you that you frequently remind yourself of? And the final one, which is something I really want you to sit on, which is, what is your superpower? We all have a superpower, and I know you do too. So, welcome to Men's Anonymous. I hope that I create a space or a platform that you'll walk away from after listening to, which will inspire you, maybe teach you a little bit of something, maybe motivate you to have that conversation that you've been holding off. But really what I want to do here is I really want to facilitate or create the space where you can hear from other men about what men truly feel and experience. Because at the end of the day, we're all making the same mistakes. and I know we make a lot of them. So the idea here isn't, oh, if you listen to everything that's being spoken here, you will no longer make mistakes. I think I'm just trying to prevent us from making the same mistakes over and over with the hope that we will become better men. And what does it mean to become a better man? I think it means to become a better partner, to become a better father, to become a better son, to become a better friend. That's what I hope for you with Men's Anonymous. So please join me in the coming weeks as I speak to an array of very, very interesting men from all over the world, where we talk all things men. Men's Anonymous.
That's it for this episode of Men's Anonymous. Thank you for listening. For more information on the Men's Anonymous podcast, including resources discussed in the show, visit mensanonymous.com. Join us next time as host Daniel Weinberg provides a non-judgmental space for men to voice their innermost feelings and thoughts.